To the another topic, especially we talk about investments. How is the investment interest of entrepreneurs from the European Union to Asian country, especially if you see Indonesia in the midst of the current turbulence conditions?
Well, I can tell you at the Business Council, we do a business sentiment survey every year. Our most recent one for this year, which came out about a month or so ago, was showing extremely strong sentiment towards Southeast Asia. 63% of the respondents said they saw the region as the one of best economic opportunity over the next 5 years. 88% of respondents reporting on Indonesia said they were expecting to expand their business operations in the country. So I think, European businesses see Southeast Asia as a bright spot in the global economy, a region with growth rates, with the young populations, with increasing middle classes, very high educated workforce as well. So it's a region they want to look at, and it's a region they will be investing in.
What is of investment, especially do European Union entrepreneurs expect from Asian countries, especially Indonesia?
Indonesia, of course, the largest economy here in Southeast Asia, is the big 800-pound gorilla in the region, if you like. It's the one that businesses look at and see the greatest opportunity in. So I think that the level of support about expanding in Indonesia is not a great deal of surprise. In terms of sectors, there's a whole range of sectors. Manufacturing in our survey was coming out particularly strong. And within manufacturing, again, things like automotive and electronics and pharmaceuticals are ones which I think are of particular interest to the region, and certainly areas from Europe where I think you can expect a lot more investment going forward.
Okay, what is the government's policy, especially to maintain business stability in European Union's regions?
Well, I think for governments in the region, and particularly for Indonesia, they need to make sure they have an open mindset. They need to make sure that there aren't too many restrictions on investments coming in, and if those investments come in, the government's going to stand behind and support them going forward. Businesses don't like changes in policy and changes in rules and regulations. They like stability. So they want to know, I invest today, the conditions I'm investing under will remain in place for the foreseeable future, because that's very, very important to them. So they suddenly find big changes in things like local content requirements, for instance, that is going to start putting them off.
Many people see that 2023, especially, we got a global recessions. How you at the European Union see this and face the worst scenario in the condition in 2023?
Yeah, I do think actually that the next 6 months, maybe a year, we're going to face some difficult economic conditions. I don't think inflation's about to come down very, very quickly. Interest rates, I think, are going to remain high and maybe going up even further. I think the Fed will probably put their rates up again this week. Malaysia, I know, is thinking about putting up its rates as well. So I think the economic outlook in the short to medium term is looking a bit bleak. But as I said just now, I think the economies here in Southeast Asia, they've come out of COVID-19 extremely well. They've been growing very, very fast, and they're certainly in a much better and stronger position than they were before. If you look back to the old Asian financial crisis, things were pretty dire here. I don't think that's going to happen now. There will be a slowdown in growth, but there will still be growth.
Okay, well, moving on to the energy topic, talk about the need for coal supply. Will the European Union still buy up large quantities of coal in Indonesia to deal with the energy crisis during winter?
I think in the very, very short term, i.e. this coming winter, there's probably going to be a need for them to import coal from Southeast Asia and from Indonesia just to get them through this winter. It's not something they would want to do. As you know, Europe has a very big and deep green agenda. They want to move away from fossil fuels as fast as they can. So this is just a stopgap exercise for them whilst they get themselves sorted out. So, Indonesia perhaps should make some hay while the sun's shining.
What are countries that brought the coal?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Okay. What are countries that brought the coal?
Well, I understand Germany's been buying coal from Indonesia because Germany itself had a particularly large exposure to Russian gas supplies.
Right.
So I believe they've been buying some coal from Indonesia. Other European countries are probably doing the same. I don't have the detail myself. But I do believe this is just a short-term measure for them. I don't believe this is a long-term purchasing arrangement.
Okay. See, will the demand for coal from Indonesia still continue next year to meet the energy supply in Europe?
I would doubt it very, very much. As I said just now, Europe is heading to decarbonize its power generation systems. I don't think this will be a long-term arrangement. This is purely a short-term one to get them through this particular winter. And they'll be putting a lot of energy into securing LNG gas supplies because that's a cleaner fuel for them, and to ramping up the renewables.